Hi. Well, welcome to the Dream Builder training. I I'm pretty excited about this. I just want to kind of go over how the training goes and what the various parts of it are. There's four phases or stages to the training. So week one, phase one is blueprinting. So week one, we're going to look at defining your dream, getting a clear picture of what your dream really is. Because most people, may have a vague idea. Some people, have no idea. Some people just know what they don't want. Well, we're going to get you clear on what it is that you do want and exactly what that's going to look like. And I hope that in that first week, you'll be able to um, define that clearly, write it out, and create a picture or a collage of pictures of all the things that you would love to have in your life. Okay, and then in week two, we're going to test the dream to see if the dream actually is significant enough or there's enough value in it for you to pursue it and that it meets all your core values. Okay, and we'll look at increasing your sense of deserving in week three. So okay, this is a huge dream. Well, who am I to pursue this dream? Where and we'll get you in touch with exactly who you are as a child of God and a creation of the universe and the power that lies within you and your actual purpose for your existence here and what that means to the people and the environment around you. So week and that takes us to phase two, which is bridging. And so the bridging, once we get a clear idea of what our dream is, we got to bridge from there to how do we pursue it. And of course, what generally comes up for people is fear. When you create this huge dream, and a lot of it stems from, who am I? So you need to have that sense of deserving, right? And am I worthy? And is the dream worthy? And all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to learn how to, face those fears because ignoring them isn't constructive. They're going to be there. And if we face them, we can then take control of them. It's just like, training a tiger. You have to face this tiger. And we have tools that you can use to allow your fear to be a part of who you are and use that to propel you on your journey. And then in week five, we're going to look at activating the law of circulation. It goes hand in glove with the law of wealth creation, the law of abundance, and it's all about learning how to look at being able to give of your time, your energy, and your money, because if you come from the place of I don't have enough, then what you're doing is you're putting a limitation on yourself, which is not an actual, real, true, and honest limitation. There are no limitations to what you have, what you can become. And so when you open yourself up to the idea that you are an abundant soul and you have lots to give, lots of energy, lots of time, and lots of money, and lots of love, then you allow that to flow into you. Once you start to give it, you'll see it coming back. And we'll look at changing your perceptions around forgiveness. The whole concept now, a lot of people go, oh, how can I forgive so and so for doing that? It was so terrible. We're not telling you that you need to say that any act or action was okay. We're just saying that when you hold a grudge or when you hold a judgment, a negative judgment about any circumstance, or anything that, or any person. And a lot of it has to do with how we, view ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves for some of the things that we have done in the past, which we may not really look on as anything that was good or nice. Everything that we've done and everything that's been done to us is all part of our learning experience. It's all necessary for us to be where we are so that we have a foundation that we can build on. And so, a lot of times people who have had the most traumatic experiences are the strongest because they've had to go through those. They had to learn how to deal with it. They've become stronger in that process. And so we're going to look at how we can use forgiveness, not only for ourselves, but for the people in our lives whom we hold, a grudge against. We can release that, which allows more energy to flow through us. And that brings us to phase 3, the building phase. So, we've built we've looked at building our dream, and then we've looked at, bridging to how we're going to get there, and then we're going to look at starting to build it. And so we've got to learn to listen to that voice of intuition that's within us. And in week 8 and 9, in week 8, we'll start to learn to listen to our intuition. And, I think we've all been there. The phone rings and you go, oh, I bet that's so-and-so. And you pick it up and sure enough, that's them. Or, you go, oh, I know there's never a parking space near the Walmart store or whatever, department store. But I just feel like today is the day I'm going to get whatever it is. And it happens for you. It's intuition talking to us. There are what's referred to as akashic records. And when we start honing our intuition, we start to tap into those records of possibilities. The future is made up of our decisions, and we can decide not to follow our intuition, or we can decide to follow it. It's our choice, but the more we follow our intuition, the stronger we become, and the more things start to work for us, and we start to expect things to work for us, which opens up the bridge for more things happening in our life that we really want to see, okay? And then we're going to talk about in week 9, creating a support system. So, where 2 or more are gathered, the energy is exponential. It's not just one flame and 2 flames. The 2 flames together actually shine brighter than the 2 individuals. Okay? And so when you gather 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or however many people that you want to have in your little group, and it should be a little intimate group. It shouldn't be, I'm just going to collect everybody. You want to have this a group where there's lots of trust and there's lots of honesty, and no one is judgmental. And that's sometimes hard to find. But people who you look up to, and and in turn, they know that you have within you more power than you're expressing. And so together, you're going to bring that together. You're going to bring that out in each other, okay? And so in week 10, we're going to learn how to train our mind. We're going to switch the channel. So you have a choice, which channel you can tune into the AM radio, you can tune into the FM radio, and in each different frequency there are different, or in each different wave band there are different wavelengths. So you can, let's take your TV, you can turn into CNN and listen to all the garbage and all the nastiness, or you can turn into the Nature Channel and start to learn things, the Discovery Channel, and start to learn things. So we're going to learn how to adjust our frequency to move away from the negative stuff and towards the positive stuff and start to have more positive stuff show up in our life, right? And then in week 11, we'll learn how to turn the failures from stumbling blocks into stepping stones. There's no, and many people who teach these principles understand that there's no failures. There's just stuff that we need to learn, and there's various ways that we can learn it. And more often than not, when we learn the hard way, it's more ingrained in us. It's a stronger learning. We don't have to go through that experience as many times. And so, a lot of times we'll look at it as if it was a failure. Man, I really tried this. I put a lot of effort and money into it, or I put a lot of love into this project and it fell apart. We'll learn how to look at what we might have considered to be a failure in the aspect of, okay, how can we learn from that? What can we absorb from that experience that will make us stronger so that the next time we won't have to go through that, and we'll have that stepping stone to propel us to the next level. And then in phase 3, phase 4, the becoming stage. We're going to harvest your dream. That's week 12. Now we're on the journey. We've learned all the steps necessary to build our dream, to bridge the gap, to face our fears, and to overcome what we might have considered to be failures and use those to be stronger and to go even farther the next shot. So it's like you're doing a shot put, and your first shot put is like, okay, 15 feet. But you're building that muscle up. Your next shot is 16 feet. Your next shot is 18 feet. And we're going to learn how to, harvest the dream. Begin to see the stuff showing up. We're going to by then have trained our minds to see it actually happening in real time before it happens. That's how we create our new life. Okay, so start on this journey. It's going to be unlocked for you week by week, and I will be there for you to answer your questions, to help you out along the way. And I hope you have as much fun and as much excitement and as much value from this as I got from it. And I get from it every time I go through it, because I go through it with you guys every time I teach it. I learn more, and I learn more about myself. And I learn little intricacies about how this all works. And along the way, of course, I've been reading other people's ideas, and I've been talking to students who have had magical experiences, and that helps me as well. So get going, and I will talk to you in the week 1 study session. You guys have a great day.